Let's head back to the voicemail of Truth and Reason.
Hey, just want to leave a comment. Actually, just leave my opinion, to be honest with you. So, in my opinion, the Browns fans, I'm a big Browns fan myself, but we're all quick to treat every game like it's the Super Bowl and like it's the only game that matters. If we don't win this week or next week or last week, then it's fire this person, bench that person, trade this person, fire that person. My thing is this. Barry and Stefanski on their third year, credit, we should be a little bit better. But they're still putting their team together. You know, like they're still waiting to get their quarterback. When they came in, they inherited Baker. They gave him 2 years, and they moved on. Year 3, they get Watson. It's going to be a small sample size. But wait till next year. I think things will be different. And I think that, you know, things will change in Cleveland. I just feel like give them a chance to get their players and their personnel. And if I had to say one thing that I, probably dislike, I just think that it's time for Kevin Stefanski to hand over the play calling duties and just focus on being the head coach. I mean, Alex Van Pelt, he's a good coach. He didn't get that job for no reason. Utilize his talents. But that's just my opinion from one Browns fan to the rest. Go Browns. Woof, woof, woof.
As always, appreciate all of the voicemails. Quincy, I can't argue with a lot of what he said, but you're going to have a year. This year is counting as a year of Deshaun Watson's contract. So that's why you're trying to figure out any way you can get to 6-5, 7-4. You might be able to live with 5-6 when Watson gets back.
Yeah, I mean, I think it has less to do with Watson's contract and more to do with just like it's another year in the NFL. You don't want to just punt these, right? You want to make sure you give yourself the best chance possible to win as many games as possible, and that would be to put yourself in a good enough position right now. What's frustrating with this team is, I mean, we talk about 5 to 6 wins would be enough. They could have it all right now. They really could, but unfortunately they have 2. You know, it's right there in front of them. This team is good enough. And this is why I think Browns fans are not used to and why we react in the ways that we react, right? We're used to our team being so bad that an opportunity to win a game is precious. Like, I remember those days where it's like we might only have 7 opportunities to win a football game this year. This team is not that. They're going to have an opportunity to win almost every game they play. Maybe Buffalo's a game they can't win, but like every other, without Watson, they can't win. But every other game they play in their schedule, they're going to have a more than a puncher's chance to win. Like, they're a good team, so we can't live and die as much with every win because every game is almost an opportunity for this team to win a game. Not from like a cliche standpoint, but from like you actually stand a chance talent-wise. So I think that's why Browns fans tend to react like that. And as far as like, it's year 3 with Barry and Stefanski, I think it's also important to remember, like, we're at this point to where we feel like we can play and beat anybody that we play against. Think about the conversations we are having in week 6 right now versus conversations we had in week 6 before the Stefanski and Barry era, right? These were much more dire conversations that we were having at this point. So things have changed. It's hard to understand what that change has been when you're living in it in the moment. And I think it's tough to appreciate these things, but I mean, last year was as bad as a year as they can get. They were about 500. This year, they're not going to dip below 500 for the whole year, more than likely. They'll probably be at like 8, 9 to 10 games. So, this is just it's a different type of season than we're used to, and it's a different type of frustration that we're used to, right? We're usually used to we're being terrible and there's nothing we can do about it, or we're like fluky good. But this is different. We're just kind of We're pretty decent right now, and we're waiting for the piece that will put this team from pretty decent to good, really good.